Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, keep your systems ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
All right, before we begin, any questions, any queries from your end with our previous topics? Okay, so if I remind you about that day, we were creating a flow which was connecting to a SharePoint site, right? Everyone has this flow at their end. Please go ahead and be on the flow designer window. So we got that policy document and we applied a logic which would be applied to all of the fields. Okay. When you run this flow, guys, at your end, is it running successfully? Any error at your end?
No, sir. It's running successfully.
But sir, I created another application, sir, another form, sir, but didn't like connect to each other, sir. Like when I gave the feedback, sir. So it like one we work, sir.
I didn't get, sir. Share your screen. No, don't run that flow. First, show me the flow, each of the steps.
Okay, sir.
Edit your flow. Yeah, expand first step. Office 365 get response detail. Okay. Office 365 service condition. Remove one condition from there. Yeah, delete the condition. No. One of the conditions. So you have option there, right? Beside first, you have 3 ellipses icon. Allow controls. So when you have 2 conditions, you need to check this box if you want both of the conditions to be there. If you don't check it, then it won't work, right? How would it know that both of the conditions are there? And by your logic, I see only one condition is satisfying your equation, which is int is greater than 3, right? If you want to bring 2 conditions, then of course you did the right step, but you also need to check them in, right? If you would not check them in, then it won't run. So try that. Try with this, it will run. If you want to run with 2 conditions, then you need to add rows and you need to check those boxes so that it is aware which condition has to be used.
But I did, sir, like both conditions, like also tick when like I was giving feedback like 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars, they didn't connect to the tables like form flow.
Try doing it in front of me. Okay. Sharing my screen now. Let me know once it's visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So just to remind you all, what we did was we had a scheduled flow. This will run on every Monday, every week. It will get policies document from the policy document library, right? And then it will apply this particular condition, which is last review date is less than 180 days minus to our values. If it is, then it will update the file properties to be overdue. It will also create a sharing link. and it will share an option to the owner of. Now we would receive some sort of notification. The owner will receive notification at their end. What notification would that be? That notification would that be reminding them about reviewing it. Now what we will do is we will go ahead and further add actions based out of those choices, right? Then again, you will add a condition. The condition will be the outcome of what user will choose from their options. So what is the selected option? If the selected option is reviewed, right, then we would change we will use again update item properties, which we have used in our previous one. So update file properties. And update the file property to be reviewed, because that's what the owner want. They has already reviewed it. We have policy document. The ID that will go on doing it from the get file properties. Perfect. And the status value would be reviewed. If not, then the status value, if they choose another option, right? So again, update file properties. Policy document. Then the ID and the status value would be delayed, which was delayed by 1 month. That is what we are giving. And while they delay it, we want our last review date. We are delaying it by 1 month, which means the last review date, we want to send reminder after 1 month again, right? So we'll make the last review date to be, we are using an UTC expression, UTC now minus 150. Why am I using minus 150? Can anyone help me with understanding that? Why am I updating last review date to be minus 150?
150 days before.
That's right, 150 days before, which means after 30 days, then again the flow would be able to recognize that this is something that it has to be reviewed. These completes my flow. These completes my flow. My flow is using schedule. My flow is using apply to each logic. My flow is also using conditions and updating its properties. Let me know any questions, any queries that are coming up with this particular flow.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm following the flows, but not getting that total picture of what is happening and when. So can you please tell me?
Explain it?
Summarize.
Sure.
Summarize
Yes,
of the flow.
So we have a policy document folder. The first thing we should understand is we have a policy document folder, right? Which is HR team. In this, we have a policy document. In this, we have how many documents? We have 3 documents, right? 3 documents has some review date. Let's just say this is 6/14, this is 1/5, this is 8/19. What is the flow that we are building is, so let me also visualize this. Come here. Let us say we are into a company known as Fabricum, right? And we have a policy review path, or let's say a a database which keeps our policies. The rule of this policy is that every policy must be reviewed every 6 months. Okay, so that is what it is. Now, where is this policy? We know that it is in SharePoint. Perfect. So what we do is we design a flow. We design a Power Automate flow. This flow is supposed to run every Monday. All right. At 10 a.m. maybe. To check review date for policy. Okay. Now, if policy review date is greater than 6 months, right? Then there are several things that it should do. What is thing? The status should change to overdue and notification should be sent to owner with what option? They will get two options. Delay by 1 month or update that as reviewed. So this is what our flow is. Every Monday 10 a.m. it will check for the policy review date. If the state and if the policy review date is greater than 6 months, then it will just go ahead and update the status to overview and also send a notification, right? Which is to the owner to delay by 1 month or to review it. Now, based out of these outputs, whatever output user will select, if they select reviewed, then the status of, which means the status will change to review. If you delayed by 1 month, then the review date will be minus 150 days. Why does 150 days? Because then after 1 month, again it will become greater than 6 months, right? And again a notification would be sent. So this is what practically we are doing here. What we are doing is we have a policy review date right over here. And we created a flow which, so this whole process, you can call this as a documentation review process, where you are creating a documentation review process, an automated process where no human intervention is needed. So how do you achieve that? So the first thing is you keep a trigger, which is a recurrence of Monday every day. You use get file properties action to bring the policy document properties. You store those values in the value and use a logic which is known as apply to each. What apply to each is doing is it is applying a condition. What is that condition? If last review date is less than 160 days, then just go ahead, update the status to overdue and send a notification to user on Microsoft Teams. And based out of the output that user will provide, right? If it is yes, then update the file properties, create a sharing link, post a choice of option. If the selected is equal to reviewed, then do these types of actions. I hope that is understood now. What we are actually doing.
Yes, sir.
I didn't get it, sir. Again, can you explain, sir?
Okay, which part? Let me know. Let me know which part of it. Yeah. So let me know which part of it. I mean,
If
Sir,
policy
the
review
trigger-
dates are greater than 6 months, then status is overdue. Then after that, notification should be like sent to the owner, like delay in 1 month, and like the review dates like minus 150 days.
Yeah. So consider today is the review date. No, let's just say that today our flow will run. Okay.
Okay.
If today our flow will run, then I'm sharing this here. Out of these policies, for which policy I will receive notification? Let's just say that this is edit grid view. This is already reviewed, let's say, exit grid view. So if I run my flow today, okay, if I run my flow today, for which policy I will review notification? Whether project A, project B, or project C, based out of my
overview. The project is the overview.
No, don't think about these statuses. So okay. So policy document. Now, if I run this condition, tell me if I run that flow, for which project I will receive a notification.
Second one, sir. Project B.
Why? Why would I receive it for project B?
No, sir. Sorry, sir. Like project A, sir, because like within 6 months.
What is our condition?
Condition is reviewed, sir. Like the condition is if within 6 months we can.
Our condition is if policy review date is greater than minus 180 days from today, which is greater than minus 6 months from today. What is today's date?
Today is 22, sir.
22. If I go minus 6 months, what should be that date?
Document B.
February?
Yes, sir.
Document B, sir.
Right? So the February is, so let's just say any document that has a review date of 21st February, right?
Yes,
that
sir.
should be reviewed today. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is why now, according to that logic, for which policy I will receive notification?
January 5.
Also, sir, the second one, sir, plan B, sir.
Project B. So what my
Yes,
flow
sir.
will do, it will come, it will check last review date for project A. It will say, okay, this is fine. This doesn't need a review. It will go to project B and it will say, okay, this need a review, right? So what it will say is it will change its status from overdue, from reviewed to overdue, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Once the project change its value from this to overdue, it will also send a notification on Microsoft Teams. What would be that notification? That notification would be of letting user know that, hello, the document is overdue for further review. Please review the document or delay the review by 1 month. And I will give them two options, whether to delay by 1 month or whether to review that and click on review. Correct? Now, if they select delay by 1 month, okay, like I said, if they select delay by 1 month, what I am doing is with the no condition, I am updating it to delayed, right? And what is the last reviewed? Last review would change to today minus 150 days. What is 150 days? March, right? 21st March. So this date would now be 21st March. Why am I changing it to 21st March? Because then next month, when 6 months are completed, again my flow will run on any Monday, isn't it? And then it will again remind the user that, okay, this has passed 6-month reviews and you have received notification. Now you need to review that. So that's what my flow will do. That's what my flow here is doing. Still confusion? Come on, keep on talking. Otherwise, confusion won't remove. Has everyone understood it?
Yes, sir. Last one minus 150 days. That will make the again that flow when it is come on one Monday, then it's not picking the second one. It's picking the 6 months before date. Means the second
So,
one date is
okay,
changed.
yeah, let's say that let's say project you sent, we got a send notification for project A, right? Project B, for project B, and we change the status to overdue. We send a notification to the owner that this is overdue. Would you like to review it or would you like to delay it? Now, when they say they would like to delay it, the last review date would change to 21st March. Right?
And next time when it will run, it will not pick the second one. The date will change.
Until when? Until 21st September, it will not pick it. This would be delayed, right? Until 21st September, it will not change it. On 22nd September, it will understand that this has passed 6 months, right? If I compare it from today, it is past 5 months, but on September, it will past 6 months. Then again, this flow will run. Again, it will pick the project B. So according to that logic, when will my project A and project C will be, what date my flow will pick project A and project C? Can you let me know?
Project C 6 months.
15th of December, right?
6, yes, sir. December, sir.
December?
Yes, sir.
This one? Next year?
Yes, sir. 8, for like February, sir.
February.
20 February, sir.
Yes, that's right. So that's what our logic is. And this one? September.
This one, sir, like, yeah, September, sir. March,
Yeah.
September.
So my overall logic is no, there should be no project that has not been reviewed in last 6 months. And we also give opportunity to user to delay the review by 1 month. If
Yes, sir,
one time, we can also apply logic, right? We can apply logic that once the status has been delayed. So if they select delayed, right? You can also apply another logic here. we can apply another logic. If the status is changed to delayed, then you don't give user another option to delay it by 1 month. They have to review it. So you can think of that logic as well. Let me know any questions, any queries.
No, sir.
No queries.
Okay. Now we are going to do one sort of exercise. For that, I'll give you 5 minutes. Please go ahead and install Power Automate on your cell phones and log in using the trial credentials that has been provided. Please go ahead and install Power Automate on your cell phones. Downloaded. Once you download it, you also sign in into Power Automate. Go to the flows section and let me know if you all can see your flows.
Yes, sir.
Everyone done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Abhishek?
No, sir. It's downloaded.
Okay, we'll wait, no worry.
We're on the close screen. Then you have to do policy review. You have to open on our mobile or
Queries? Those who have downloaded it, you can explore that application, can see various sections of it, can also see if you can edit flows from there. Right now, we just need to explore it. So explore each and every section. Okay, Abhishek, are you ready?
Yes, sir. It's
Rikakat, what's your status?
Yes, sir. Downloaded, sir.
Have you logged in?
Yes, sir.
Can you see your flows there?
Sir?
Can you see your flows in the application?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So everyone, when you go to the button section where it says button, do you see any flow there? Or do you see any button there?
Yes, sir. Buttons. I create button folder, sir.
There is create button, but do you see any button by any flow that you have created for
No,
button? Have
no
you learned
buttons.
anything about it?
No buttons here.
Okay. Have we learned anything about buttons? No, not yet.
No, sir.
Before in Power Apps, we will learn button.
We learn about it in Power Apps. But what are these buttons in Power Apps? Now we are going to jump into our another topic in Power Automate, which is how you create a flow which will provide you a button in your Power Automate, right? Come on to screen. I'm sharing my screen now. So we will create flow. These flows are part of instant cloud flows. Instant cloud flows are flows where you could link Power Automate buttons, Power Apps, or any manual action that user performs. So remember, guys, we have learned about a lot of things until now. We have learned about different types of flows. We have learned about various things like from starting from here, right? We know about different types of flows. We know different types of flows that we have created using SharePoint and other connectors. So I'm going to take you back to this section where we learned about them. Now you have a fair idea of what these flows are. Starting with, we know that automated cloud flow are done for automated action, such as updating in a SharePoint list and all. Similarly, scheduled cloud flows, we learn about them right now, how we can schedule a documentation review, and how we can probably also go ahead and have an automated cloud flow. The next sort of action that we are going to pay attention to is the instant cloud flow. Instant cloud flow by the term means they should be started by an instant manual process. So they would be button flow or they would be an instant flow. It can be a button in Power Apps or it can be a button in Power Automate. Doesn't matter. So let's see. So the first thing is I go ahead and click on instant cloud flow. All right, do along with me. Go ahead to the create section. Once you are in the create section, click on instant cloud flow. Let's call this as a leave approval flow. And select the first trigger, which is manually trigger a flow. Perfect. And click on create. This will take you to the designer. These types of flows are known as manually triggered flow, which means when you want to give user authority to start this flow, and while user can start this flow, it will also give user opportunity to enter some information from their end. Maybe name, maybe address, maybe location, or these are the types of inputs that can be used. So the first step, which is empty, you can click on, you will see an option known as add an input, where you can add an input to be entered from a user. It can be text, it can be yes and no, it can be file to upload, email, number, date, anything. I'll start with a text. I will say reason for leave. Okay, please enter your input. Perfect. The second is date, which I will say when are you going to go for a leave? So start date. And then the date where we would enter about the end date. Perfect. So three variables, reason for leave, starter date, and end date at the start of our flow. This is what we are giving user opportunity. As soon as they enter this information, I would like flow to their manager. So I will go ahead and use the approval section, which is start and wait for an approval, create an approval, wait for an approval. So there are several actions for an approval action type. Create an approval, start and wait for an approval, wait for an approval. I'll go with start and wait for an approval. This step will start an approval where everyone must approve. These are some of the conditions that I can add. First to respond, wait for all responses, wait for one responses, right? I'll say everyone must approve in case I want approval from everyone. Remember, I'm not using Microsoft Teams for approval. I'm using the approval section. Create a title. The title would be leave request for username, the display name of the user who has it. Assigned to can be manager, right? In case if it is manager, then you also need to connect it to Office 365 service. Right now we are doing test. So I'm going to put my name only in the assigned to. Details. So what are the details of approve? So I know that user will be entering some information. So these three variables that you see at your end, reason for leave, I can enter the detail over here by using the dynamic content. Reason for leave from start date to end date. Perfect. And save it. Please do go ahead, create this flow at your end where you provide two inputs, two date inputs, one text input to a user, and use the connector which is known as start and wait for an approval. Let me know once you have configured these two steps. Are you done?
I said it's showing error.
Share your screen. Oh, that's a warning. No worry. No worries, no worries. Okay, so whenever everyone will receive that warning, that is because this particular connector, which is start and wait for an approval, required some provisioning. So
You're not audible. You are not audible.
okay, I think I'm connected. Where will this approval flow? Just a moment. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, it's connecting. Just a moment. Okay. So everyone will receive that warning because this particular step, which is start and wait for an approval. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This will require time. You can start that flow. Now, once you save that flow and you check the button section of your mobile based application, you will see a button right over there to trigger your flow. You can click on that button if you see it, and you will see these three options to be entered. Do go ahead and submit that flow using the button on your cell phone. Let me know if you cannot, if you don't see that button on your cell phone. There should be a button on the cell phone, and you should be able to run that flow from your buttons, from the buttons on the cell phone. Since those approvals will be flown to you, you will receive the approvals in the approval section. Like right now, I see leave request for Vibhor Sharma, right? It has also had details, and I can approve this leave right from here, from the approval section. You will also receive, or the approver will also receive an email on their Outlook. And on your cell phone, you can also see that there is a activity section. And when you go to activity section, you will find approver or approve request section as well. Let me know if any queries, any errors.
Sir, in the section it's not showing.
It will take time. You know, for the first time for provisioning, it takes almost 10 to 15 minutes, and then it will show up.
Okay, sir.